Hello everyone, this is Rig. Welcome to a special episode on the Rashtrakutas. This video is specifically designed for UPSC aspirants, state PSC candidates, and students preparing for competitive exams like SSC, railways, and other history related exams. With a data oriented approach, you will gain valuable insights into their achievements, rituals like Hiranyagarbha sacrifice, and their contributions to Indian art and culture. Whether you are a student, a history enthusiast, or someone passionate about India's rich heritage, this video is your one stop guide to the Rashtrakutas. So don't miss this. Let's begin with our history on the Rashtrakutas. Introduction to the Rashtrakutas. The Rashtrakutas were a prominent dynasty in medieval India, 6th to 10th century CE, known for their extensive influence across the subcontinent. Various theories surround their origin. Fleet suggests that they descended from the Rathors of the North India. Bernal connected them to the Dravidian Raddis of the Andhra Desha. The most probable theory links them to the Rashtrikas or Rathikas mentioned in the Ashokan edicts, 3rd century BC. The term Rashtrakuta refers to the head of a district or Rashtra used in official records. The dynasty's rulers claim descent from the Yadu family of the Mahabharata. Their political rise began with Danti Durga, who established the Rashtrakutas as an independent power. The dynasty flourished in the Deccan Plateau, leaving a legacy of achievements. Theories of origin. Multiple theories highlight the complex origins of the Rashtrakutas. Fleet's theory. Rashtrakutas were descendants of the Rathors in North India. Bernal's theory linked them to the Raddis, a Dravidian group from Andhra Pradesh. Ashokan edicts mentioned Rashtrikas, Rathikas, possibly ancestors of Rashtrakutas. Rashtrakutas often tied their lineage to the Yadavas, descendants of Lord Krishna. Dr. Altekar's research suggested their original homeland was Karnataka and they spoke Kannada. Inscriptional evidence names the lords of Lattalura indicate their ties to Lattur in Karnataka. The dynasty's emphasis on divine ancestry bolstered their political legitimacy. Rashtrakutas' regional presence. The Rashtrakutas held key territories across Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh. According to inscriptions, they ruled as feudatories before rising to power. Kannada was their primary language, as per evidence from coins and inscriptions. Dr. Altekar, Rashtrakutas were natives of Karnataka with ties to Bidar and Latur. Opposing theory. Some scholars argue they were from Maharashtra. Inscriptions describe them as lords of Lattalura, indicating to the modern day Latur. Titles such as Rathika and Maharathi reflect their status as warriors. The dynasty's early role was administrative, managing Rashtras, which are districts, before gaining independence. Early Rashtrakuta rulers. The dynasty's early rulers include Danti Varman, Indra I, Govinda I, Karka I, and Indra Raja II. Their initial rule was uneventful, with no significant achievements recorded. Dr. Alteker's research: early settlements were likely in Berar with administrative centers in Elichpur. By 8th century, the Rashtrakutas transitioned from feudatories to an independent power. Danti Durga, the first significant ruler, established their dominance by defeating the Chalukyas. The dynasty's rise is linked to its strategic location in the Deccan Plateau. Rashtrakuta rulers combined military strength with administrative efficiency. This early foundation paved the way for their later prominence. Danti Durga, founder of the Rashtrakutas. Danti Durga 735 to 756 CE was the first independent ruler of the Rashtrakutas, ending Chalukya suzerainty. He defeated the Chalukya king Kirtivarman II and declared independence in the Deccan Plateau. Major victories over Kanchi, Kaling, Koshala, Malava, Vallava, and other regions. Performed the Hiranyagarbha ceremony at Ujjain to establish his supreme authority. Titles conferred: Prithvi Vallava, Maharaja Dhiraja, Parameshwara, Parama Vattaraka. Played a key role in campaigns led by Vikramaditya II, including repelling Arab invasions in Gujarat 738 CE. Established dominance from the Himalayas to Rameshwaram. Danti Durga's strategic military and administrative policies solidified the Rashtrakutas' power and influence in southern India. Military campaigns of Danti Durga. Danti Durga's campaigns expanded Rashtrakuta territory and influence. His first major victory was over the Gujjara kingdom of Nandipuri. Led expeditions to Malava, Kalinga, and central Gujarat, consolidating control over the trade routes. Defeated the Chalukyas and captured Maharashtra region in 753 CE. Took the title of Khadga Vahaloka after defeating the Pallavas in 743 CE. Collaborated with Vikramaditya II to repel Arab invasions in western India. Control strategic regions like the Mahi, Narmada, and Reva valleys, strengthening economic and military bases. By 750 CE, he became the undisputed ruler of the Deccan Plateau. Danti Durga's titles and achievements. Danti Durga adopted several prestigious titles to signify his conquest and authority. Prithvi Vallabha, acknowledging his role as a protector and ruler of the earth. Maharaja Dhiraja, denoting his status as the king of kings. Paramaveshwara and Paramavattaraka, titles asserting his divine right monarchy. Successfully performed the Hiranyagarbha ritual symbolizing rebirth as a Kshatriya emperor. Conquered regions included Kanchi, Vallava, and Gujarat. Played critical role in fortifying borders against Arab invasions in 738 CE. His military campaigns laid the foundation for Rashtrakuta dominance in trade and politics. Danti Durga's death around 758 CE marked the end of his conquest. Legacy of Danti Durga. Dantidurga's reign marked the beginning of Rashtrakutas' era as a dominant power, unified key territories Karnataka, Maharashtra, Gujarat, and central India, initiated cultural and political expansion that continued under successors like Krishna I, left behind inscriptions and coins reflecting the dynasty's administrative and military prowess, controlled important trade routes connecting North and South India. His successors built on his achievements, transforming the Rashtrakutas into one of medieval India's greatest empires. The Rashtrakutas were patrons of art, architecture, and literature, influencing Indian culture deeply. Danti Durga's conquest established a strong foundation, ensuring the dynasty's prominence for centuries. Krishna I, 756 to 774 CE. Ascension and titles. Krishna I, uncle of Danti Durga, ascended the Rashtrakuta throne in 756 CE. He adopted titles such as Akala and Subhatunga. Military achievements. Defeated Kirtivarman II, the last Badami Chalukya ruler, in 757 CE, ending their dynasty. Expanded the empire by conquering the Ganga territory and subjugating the Konkan region. Sent his son to the eastern Chalukya kingdom of Vengi, securing their submission without conflict. Architectural contribution. Commissioned the Kailasa Temple at Ellora, a monolithic rock cut structure renowned for its architectural brilliance. Govinda II, 774 to 780 CE. Reigns and titles. Govinda II, eldest son of Krishna I, ruled from 774 to 780 CE. He bore the titles like Prabhuta Varsha and Vikramal Bahaloka. Administrative delegation. Delegated governance to his younger brother Dhruva Dharavarsha due to personal indulgence. Dhruva, serving as a governor in regions like Nasik and Kandesh, effectively managed state affairs. Conflict and deposition. Govinda II's neglect led to a civil war with Dhruva. Dhruva emerged victorious, deposing Govinda II and ascending the throne in 780 CE. Dhruva Dharavarsha, 780 to 793 CE. Ascension and titles. Dhruva Dharavarsha became emperor in 780 CE, adopting titles such as Maharaja Dhiraja, Parameshwara, and Dharavarsha. Military campaigns defeated Vatsa Raja of Gurjara Patihara Empire and Dharmapal of the Pala Empire in the Ganges Yamuna Doab. Extended influence over Kanya Kubja, Kanauj, enhancing Rashtrakuta prominence in northern India. Subdued eastern Chalukya king Vishnuvardhana IV in 784 CE, solidified alliance through marriage to his daughter Shilavattarika. Defeated western Ganga ruler Shivamara II, appointing his son Kamavarasha as governor of Gangavadi. Compelled Pallava monarch Nandivarman II to accept suzerainty, receiving tributes including elephants. Under Dhruva's leadership, the Rashtrakuta Empire emerged as a pan Indian power, controlling extensive territories across the subcontinent. Architectural and cultural contributions. Kailasa Temple at Ellora, commissioned by Krishna II, this monolithic rock cut temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Renowned for its intricate carvings and architectural grandeur, it exemplifies Rashtrakuta artistry. Rashtrakuta rulers supported Sanskrit and Kannada literature. Notable works include Kavi Virahasya by Halayudha and Nala Champu by Tivikrama Bhatta. While primary followers of Hinduism, Rashtrakuta kings patronized Jainism, reflecting religious inclusivity. Jain scholars like Jina Sena, author of Adi Purana, received royal support. The era witnessed a blend of Dravidian and Nagara architectural styles. Art and architecture from this period influenced subsequent South Indian dynasties. Dhruva Dharavasha's military campaigns defeated Gurjara Patihara ruler Vatsa Raja, extending influence into northern India. Challenged Pala king Dharmapal, asserting Rashtrakuta dominance in the north. Subdued Pallavas of Kanchi, consolidating control over southern territories. Defeated Western Ganga dynasty, expanding the empire's southern reach. Formed alliances with regional powers to strengthen Rashtrakuta hegemony. Utilized diplomatic marriages to secure political ties. Legacy of Krishna I, Govinda II, and Dhruva Dharavasha. Krishna I expanded the empire through military conquest, commissioned architectural marvels like the Kailashnath temple. Govinda II, his reign marked by internal strife and eventual disposition, delegated power led to Dhruva's rise. Dhruva Dharavasha strengthened the empire's dominance across India. His campaigns and governance set the foundation for future prosperity. Collectively, their reigns contributed to the Rashtrakuta dynasty's prominence in Indian history. Govinda III, 793 to 814 AD. Govinda III succeeded Dhruva in 793 AD, ruling the Rashtrakuta Empire until 814 AD. His succession faced resistance from Stambha, the governor of Gangavadi, supported by neighboring feudatories. Stambha led a revolt involving 12 kings against Govinda III's authority. Govinda III decisively defeated the coalition and captured Stambha, who was imprisoned. Despite the rebellion, Govinda III reinstated Stambha as the governor of Gangavadi, demonstrating his political acumen. Stambha remained loyal to Govinda III for the remainder of his life. Govinda III released Siva Mara, a Ganga prince held prisoner by the Rashtrakutas. The release aimed to balance power but eventually created challenges as Siva Mara allied with Stambha. Diplomatic strategies and control. Govinda III subdued Dantiga, the Pallava king, strengthening Rashtrakuta control over Vengi. Vishnuvardhana IV, ruler of Vengi and maternal grandfather of Govinda III, supported him and did not challenge his rule. By 795 AD, Govinda III had consolidated power and was acknowledged as the undisputed overlord of the Deccan. Regional rulers, including Shivamara and Stambha, were strategically managed to ensure loyalty and stability. His tactical decisions neutralized internal threats while expanding Rashtrakuta influence. Govinda III's diplomatic measures reinforced the empire's dominance across South India. Stambha's revolt showcased Govinda III's ability to turn adversaries into allies, though calculated generosity. His authority over Vengi became a cornerstone of Rashtrakuta governance in the south. Military expansion in northern India. Govinda III launched a campaign to northern India, with Bhopal and Jhansi serving as key bases. He targeted Kanauj, defeating Nagabhatta II, the Pratihara ruler in Bundelkhand. Chakrayudha, the puppet ruler of Kanauj, surrendered unconditionally to Govinda III. The campaign expanded Rashtrakuta influence and neutralized the threat posed by the North Indian powers. Govinda III's victory weakened the Patihara dynasty and elevated Rashtrakuta prestige. Dharmapal, the ruler of Bengal, also submitted to Govinda III's authority. Northern conquest demonstrated Govinda III's ambition and ability to extend Rashtrakuta power far beyond the Deccan. Conquests across India. Govinda III humbled several North Indian rulers, compelling them to submit to Rashtrakuta authority. His campaigns extended Rashtrakuta dominance to Koshala, Kalinga, Vanga, Malava, Dahala, and Odraka. He reinstated subdued kings in their respective domains, ensuring loyalty through strategic governance. The Rashtrakuta army ventured as far as the Himalayas, showcasing military prowess. Govinda III's campaigns allowed the Rashtrakutas to dominate the Indian subcontinent beyond traditional boundaries. He secured Rashtrakuta influence in the eastern and central India through efficient military organization. The victory over Nagabhatta too enabled further advancements into fertile and prosperous regions. His military achievements ensured Rashtrakuta supremacy in both northern and southern India during his reign. Legacy and achievements. Govinda III installed statues of himself and his minister in the Shiva temple at Kanchi, commemorating his achievements. He subdued the Ceylonese king, instilling fear even in distant kingdoms. Rashtrakuta naval and military strength flourished under his reign, consolidating authority across land and sea. His leadership was marked by unparalleled courage, strategic foresight, and effective governance. Govinda III is celebrated for expanding the empire's boundaries from Kanauj to Cape Comorin. He established Rashtrakuta dominance over vassal kings in extreme southern regions. Scholars like Dr. A. S. Altekar hail Govinda III as the greatest Rashtrakuta emperor unmatched in competence. His victories symbolize the zenith of Rashtrakuta power and influence in India. Historiographical assessment. The timeline of Govinda III's northern expedition is debated, with most scholars agreeing on 806 AD. He expanded the Rashtrakuta Empire to its largest territorial extent During his reign, Govinda III reinstated authority over subdued kings, showcasing diplomatic and administrative skills. His military campaigns subdued the Pratiharas, Palas, and other regional powers, consolidating Rashtrakuta supremacy. Dharmapal, the Pala ruler, and other northern kings recognized Rashtrakuta dominance. The Rashtrakuta power reached its zenith during Govinda III's rule with unmatched influence across India. His governance emphasized military strength, territorial integration, and political acumen. Early life and accession. Birth and succession. Amogha also known as Sarva, succeeded his father Govinda in 814 AD at the age of 13 or 14. Titles. Adapted titles such as Nripatunga, Maharaja Sadhana, Veera Narayana, and Atisaya Dhavala. Challenges. Faced rebellion from tributary princes, including the ruler of Gangavadi and Vijayaditya II of Vengi. Loss of throne. Amidst internal dissensions and disloyalty, lost his throne for a period during his youth. Regaining power, reclaimed the throne before April 821 AD but struggled to consolidate authority. Administrative transition. Initially, administration was overseen by Karka under the arrangements made by Govinda III, which temporarily stabilized the empire. Military campaigns. Campaign against Vijayaditya II defeated the Vengi ruler in 830 AD, with Rashtrakuta forces occupying Vengi for 12 years. Loss of Vengi. The city was later recaptured by a general of Vijayaditya II before 845 AD. Ganga's War. Engaged in continuous warfare with the Gangas for the first 20 years of his reign. Resolution through marriage. Married his daughter to a Ganga prince to establish peace with the Gangas. Northern conflict. Mihira Voj, the Pratihara ruler, advanced up to the Narmada river, but Dhruva I, not Amogavarsha, repelled the invasion. Diplomatic challenges. Sirur plates claim rulers of Anga, Vanga, Magadha, Malaba, and Vengi paid homage, though these claims lack evidence. Cultural contributions. Patronage of literature. Supported scholars like Jina Sena, Adi Purana, Mahaviracharya, Ganita Sarasamgraha, and Sakatayana, Amogha Vritti. Authorship. Authored Kavi Raja Marga, the earliest known Kannari's work on poetics. Religious affiliation. Deeply influenced by Jainism, but also worshipped goddess Mahalakshmi, showcasing religious inclusivity. Promotion of learning. Encouraged philosophical, literary, and scientific advancements during his reign. Jain influence. Principles of Jainism strongly impacted his policies, lifestyle, and intellectual pursuits. Cultural syncretism managed to balance patronage of Jainism and Hinduism, creating a culturally diverse and inclusive empire. Administrative legacy. Capital establishment. Amoghavasha I established his capital at Mayakheta, modern Malkhet, in the former Nizam's territory, ensuring his prosperity and prominence. Governance style frequently left administration to the crown prince or a council of ministers during periods of meditation and solitude. Homage claims Sirur plates claim our rulers of Anga, Vanga, Magadha, Malava, and Vengi paid homage to Amogha Varsha, though these claims are disputed. Territorial challenges struggled with rebellions from tributary states like Gangavadi and Vengi, reflecting a complex administrative landscape. Stability and order. Despite challenges, maintained peace in core regions and restructured administrative mechanisms. Military administrative balanced, focused on diplomacy over conquest, often resolving conflicts through alliances and treaties rather than prolonged warfare. Last years and philosophy. Retirement periods spent later years in religious exercises, practicing meditation, and retreating into solitude for several short intervals. Legacy of peace focused on establishing peace and order rather than military expansion, earning recognition as a benevolent ruler. Religious inclinations, strongly influenced by Jain principles, but remained a devout worshipper of goddess Mahalakshmi, balancing Jainism and Hinduism. Contribution to welfare, known for his willingness to sacrifice personal comfort for public welfare, as noted by Dr. Altekar. Cultural legacy encouraged art and literature, leaving a lasting cultural impact on Rashtrakuta Empire. Historical perspective. Dr. Altekar described him as a ruler whose name endures due to his principles, peacekeeping, and cultural patronage. Historical significance. Reign duration ruled from 814 to 878 AD, a period marked by cultural, political, and religious advancements. Literary contributions authored Kavi Raja Marga, the first Karnare's literary work, and supported scholars like Jina Sena and Sakatayana. Military and diplomacy successfully defended court territories and resolved conflicts through diplomacy and alliances. Religious and cultural patronage promoted Jainism and Hinduism, fostering a syncretic cultural environment. Governance legacy established Mayakheta as a center of power, ensuring its growth as a prosperous administrative hub. Enduring legacy remembered as a ruler who balanced governance, culture, and religion, setting an example of ideal leadership for future generations. Rashtrakutas Krishna II to Karka II. The Rashtrakutas were one of the most prominent dynasties in the Deccan history. Rulers like Krishna II, Indra III, Krishna III, Kotigga, and Karka II played key roles in shaping the dynasty's legacy. Krishna II, 878 to 914 AD, succeeded Amoghavharsha I and ruled for 36 years, taking the titles like Akalavarsha and Suvatunga. He was inclined towards Jainism and engaged in multiple military campaigns throughout his reign. Inscription mention Krishna too terrifying the Gurjaras, defeating the Latas, and subduing the Gaudas. His command was acknowledged by the rulers of Anga, Kalinga, Ganga, and Magadha. indicating the Rashtrakutas' wide influence. This presentation delves into the achievements of Krishna II to Karka II, their military campaigns, and eventual decline of this dynasty, focusing on these five rulers. Krishna II, 878 to 914 AD. Krishna too fought significant wars against the Pratiharas and the eastern Chalukyas. His major opponent in the Pratihara conflict was Bhoja, and Krishna Raja aiding him in battles. Against the eastern Chalukyas, Krishna too clashed with Vijayaditya III, who initially resisted Rashtrakuta forces. Krishna II's army invaded Vengi, successfully capturing territories for a brief period. His campaigns extended Rashtrakuta influence over regions like the Latas, Gaudas, and Kaling. Despite military victories, Krishna too faced setbacks, including resistance from regional powers. His reign saw failed attempts to instill his grandson on the Chola throne, ending with a defeat at Vallala. Indra III, 914 to 922 AD. Indra III, Krishna II's grandson, succeeded the Rashtrakuta throne in 914 AD. He adopted titles such as Nitanya Rayana, Ratta Kandarpa, and Raja Martanda, emphasizing his power. Indra III reignited hostilities with the Pratiharas, aiming to dominate Kannauj, the political center of North India. His forces defeated Mahipal, the Gujjara Pratihara ruler, leading to Rashtrakuta control over Kannauj. Despite the victory, his campaigns led to significant casualties on both sides. Indra III's administration focused on efficient governance while maintaining Rashtrakuta military strength. He passed away in 922 AD, leaving a stable but military active empire for his successors. Krishna III, 940 to 968 AD. Krishna III ruled from 940 to 968 AD, earning a reputation as one of the most capable Rashtrakuta monarchs. He conducted campaigns in northern India, Bundelkhand, and Chola kingdom in South India. In 949 AD, Krishna III defeated the Cholas at Takkolam, asserting Rashtrakuta dominance in the south. He constructed temples like Krishneshwara and Ganda Martanda Ditya near Rameshwaram to commemorate his victories. Krishna III's expeditions also brought Malava, Ujjain, and Vengi rulers under the Rashtrakuta influence. Historians such as Dr. Altekar consider him one of the dynasty's best rulers. Kotigya, 967 to 972 AD. Kotigya succeeded Krishna III in 967 AD, inheriting a weakened Rashtrakuta kingdom. His reign faced a major challenge when Siyaka, the Paramara ruler, invaded Rashtrakuta territories. In 972 AD, Siyaka attacked and plundered the Rashtrakuta capital, Malkhet, leaving it devastated. The treasury was emptied, severely impacting the economic stability of the empire. Khotigga's inability to repel the Paramara invasion marked the beginning of Rashtrakuta decline. He died in the same year in 972 AD, leaving the kingdom in chaos and unable to recover. This period highlighted the weakening central authority and the inability to protect the core regions from external invasions. Karka II, 973 to 975 AD. Karka II succeeded Khotigga but ruled for only 2 years between 973 to 975 AD. His reign saw the final collapse of the Rashtrakuta dynasty due to poor administration and external threats. Taila II, a feudatory of the Rashtrakutas, rebelled and defeated Karka II in a bloody battle in 973 AD. Taila II's victory established the Chalukyas of Kalyani, marking the end of Rashtrakuta dominance in the Deccan. Karka II attempted to regain control but failed against the well organized rebellion led by Taila II. Efforts to restore the Rashtrakutas were unsuccessful, and by 975 AD, the dynasty disappeared from history. Rashtrakuta administration. The king was the central figure in the administration, holding titles like Maharaja Dhiraja, Parama Vattaraka, Akala Varsha, Suvarna Varsha, and Vikrama Valoka. The royal court symbolized the might and power of the king with grand ceremonies and displays of wealth. The king attended court regularly except during expeditions to oversee governance and administration. Visitors to the court needed explicit permission from the royal chamberlain and were ushered in by officials. The court hosted vassal chiefs, foreign ambassadors, civil officers, poets, doctors, astrologers, and guild representatives. The king sat on a jewel adorned throne, surrounded by bodyguards and dancing girls, adding dignity to court events. Rashtrakuta administration were hierarchical, combining centralized control with local autonomy. The king and his role. Kingship was hereditary, with the eldest son usually succeeding as ruler. Younger sons became Yuvarajas. Exceptions occurred when younger princes replaced elder brothers due to merit, like Govinda III and Dhruva. The Yuvraj acted as advisor and supported the king in administrative and military matters. The emperor presided over the royal court, adorned with jewels embodying wealth and authority. Feudatories, ambassadors, and officials sought permission to meet the king, showcasing strict protocol. The king played a key role in maintaining law and order and expanding territorial boundaries. Royal authority was emphasized through ceremonies, grand receptions, and personal interactions with subjects and dignitaries. Ministers and central administration. Ministers included Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Revenue Minister, Treasurer, Chief Justice, and Commander in Chief. Ministers were chosen based on competence in governance, military expertise, and loyalty to the king. Most ministers were also military officers, highlighting the integration of civil and military roles. The Purohit, head priest, played a religious advisory role alongside political duties. No evidence exists of a civil service similar to Amatyas of the Mauryas or Guptas. Central officers conducted inspections, supervised governance in provinces, and reported to the capital. The king relied on trusted advisers to ensure efficient functioning of the administration. The ministers were referred to as the right hand of the king, symbolizing their importance. Feudatories and vassal states. The Rashtrakuta Empire included directly ruled territories and semi independent vassal states. Feudatories known as Mahamandaleshwaras enjoyed significant autonomy in local governance. Some vassals were titled Rajas, but they were subordinate to the Rashtrakuta king. Feudatories were bound to provide regular tribute, including treasures, elephants, and horses. They supplied soldiers to the Rashtrakuta military and participated in royal campaigns. Non compliance with the central authority led to punitive actions such as surrendering resources. Vassals were required to keep representatives at the imperial court to report local developments. Central inspectors periodically monitored the activities of vassals and district officers. Directly administered areas. The empire's directly ruled regions were divided into rashtras and vishayas for administrative convenience. Each vishaya consisted of bhuktis further divided into villages, the smallest administrative unit. Rashtrapati, often a military officer, managed both civil and military administration in a rashtra. Duties of the Rashtrapati included maintaining law and order, revenue collection, and ensuring loyalty among feudatories. The Vishayapatis and Bhogapatis were hereditary officers responsible for revenue collection and local governance. Villages were governed by headmen and village accountants who managed daily administration and taxes. Land revenue, including taxes like Udranga and Vogakara, were significant source of income. Local administration was efficient with clear hierarchies and responsibilities for every administrative tier. Village administration. Each village had a headman responsible for maintaining law and order, often supported by a local militia. A village accountant assisted in revenue collection and served as a key figure in administration. Taxes were collected in kind or cash and submitted to the royal treasury or stored in granaries. The Grama Sabha village council consisted of adult householders addressing local issues like roads, temples, and tanks. Subcommittees within the council handle specific administrative tasks supported by local donors. Villagers enjoyed some authority but were required to cooperate with higher authorities during crisis. Feudatory rebellions and rivalries occasionally disrupted village governance, requiring intervention from the central administration. Military organization. Rashtrakutas maintained a strong military with an estimated strength of 5 lakh soldiers. The army was divided into northern and southern armies, stationed strategically for defense and conquest. Infantry divisions were supported by cavalry units supported by feudatories and provincial governors. Recruitment was often open to all castes, including Brahmanas and Jains, promoting inclusivity in the military. Soldiers received training in martial arts and followed strict discipline before joining active service. Military campaigns were supported by merchants and guilds who ensured logistics and supplies. The army was instrumental in expanding the empire's boundaries and maintaining internal stability. Prominent generals like Bankeya, Srivijaya, and Narasimha played vital roles in military operations. Revenue and taxation. The Rashtrakuta economy relied heavily on revenue from the land taxes like Udranga and Bhogakara. Taxes were collected in installments, often paid in kind, grains, or cash, depending on the region. Tributes from feudatories formed a significant portion of empire's wealth. Forest and wastelands were taxed, contributing to the central treasury's income. Special taxes like octroi were levied on imported goods such as fruits, vegetables, and textiles. Land grants, often given to Brahmanas and temples, were exempt from taxation as a privilege. Tax reliefs were provided during famines or other natural calamities to assist affected populations. Villagers contributed resources like food, lodging, and transport for military and administrative personnel. Judicial and inspection systems. Rashtrakuta governance included a robust judicial system overseen by central and local officials. Feudatories and district officials were accountable to inspectors who toured regions for reviews. Local disputes were solved by village councils, which acted as judicial and administrative bodies. Vishaya Mahamatras, elders of the district, addressed larger disputes within their jurisdiction. Central inspectors ensured fair governance and monitored compliance with imperial laws. Rashtrakutas maintained law and order through regular inspections and punitive actions against defaulters. Popular councils at the village levels decided civil disputes and enforced decisions by government orders. The judicial system balanced local autonomy with centralized oversight, ensuring efficiency across regions. Legacy of administration. The Rashtrakutas established a multi tiered administrative system blending central control with local autonomy. Their administration influenced subsequent dynasties in feudal governance and military organization. Titles like Maharaja Dhiraja and grand royal ceremonies symbolize the king's supreme authority. Effective tax systems ensured financial stability and supported administrative functions. The integration of military and civil roles in the administration ensured loyalty and competence. Decentralized governance provided flexibility in management. Judicial systems promoted fairness and accountability. Rashtrakuta governance is remembered for its efficient management, blending tradition and innovation to rule a vast empire. Religious practices of the Rashtrakutas. Worship of Shiva and Vishnu was highly prevalent during the Rashtrakuta rule, as evidenced in inscriptions and temple architecture. Temples were constructed to enshrine sacred images which were worshipped daily with elaborate rituals. Key rituals included the Tuladanas, where gold equivalent to a person's body weight was donated to the temples. Danti Durga's Hiranyagarbha sacrifice at Ujjain reflected a Brahmanical tradition of divine legitimacy for kingship. Jainism received patronage under rulers such as Amogha Indra IV, Krishna II, Indra III, with significant Jain monuments emerging. While Buddhism declined, Kanheri remained an important Buddhist center in the region. Patronage of Jainism and decline of Buddhism. Jainism flourished under Rashtrakuta rulers like Amogha who was known for his literary contributions. Indra IV, Krishna II, and Indra III continued supporting Jain religious and cultural traditions. Jain temples and literature received significant royal support, enhancing the religion's prominence in the Deccan. Simultaneously, Buddhism experienced a decline in Rashtrakuta period with fewer new centers established. Despite its decline, the Kanheri caves remained a critical center of Buddhist activity and learning. Rashtrakuta rulers balanced their patronage among multiple religions, contributing to cultural diversity within their empire. Rock cut architecture at Ellora. The Kailasa Temple at Ellora, constructed during the reign of Krishna I, is a masterpiece of Rashtrakuta architecture. It is the largest monolithic structure globally, measuring 276 feet long, 154 feet wide, and 107 feet deep. Built entirely from a single rock, the temple features a Nandi pavilion, courtyards, and intricate sculptures of Shiva and other deities. Depictions include mythological scenes such as Ravana shaking Mount Kailasa, highlighting exquisite craftsmanship. The temple's plinth is adorned with frieze of elephants and monsters, symbolizing strength and artistic brilliance. Described by Percy Brown as India's most stupendous rock cut architecture, it represents devotion and creativity fused to a monumental achievement. Elephanta Caves and Maheshamurti Shrine. The Elephanta Caves, known for the Maheshamurti Shrine, were constructed during the Rashtrakuta period. The shrine depicts Shiva in three forms: creation, protection, and destruction, symbolizing cosmic balance. Sculptures include depictions of Nataraj, Shiva as a cosmic dancer, and Sadashiva, reflecting artistic excellence. The Mahesha Murti at Elephanta is considered superior to other sculptures of Shiva from the period. Rashtrakuta artists achieved harmony and balance in divine principles through their sculptures. Fragments of paintings in Elephanta caves reveal the once vibrant artistic legacy of the Rashtrakutas. The Kailasa Temple. The Kailasa Temple at Ellora is an extraordinary example of rock cut architecture from 8th century. The temple was commissioned by Krishna I and sculpted out of a single rock in a rectangular quarry. Notable dimensions: 276 feet long, 154 feet wide, and 107 feet deep, with four main sections. The temple features sculpted panels of Shiva, Vishnu, Lakshmi, and mythological episodes, including Ravana shaking Kailash. Scholars describe the Kailasa Temple as a monumental creation of spiritual devotion and artistic imagination. The intricate carvings and symbolic friezes make it one of India's most celebrated architectural achievements. Contributions to sculpture and paintings. Rashtrakuta artists excelled in sculptures such as the Ardhanarishvara and Trimurti at Elephanta. Their works depicted intricate carvings of Hindu gods showcasing balance and artistic precision. Sculptures emphasize divine principles and cosmic harmony, blending religious and aesthetic themes. Fragments of ancient paintings are found in the Kailasa temple at Ellora, representing Rashtrakuta mastery. These artistic creations significantly influenced the development of later Indian art styles. Scholars highlight the balance of religious symbolism and artistic creativity in Rashtrakuta era sculptures. Legacy of the Rashtrakutas. Rashtrakuta period is a significant chapter in Indian cultural and political history. Rulers like Dhruva, Govinda III, Krishna II, and Indra III expanded the empire through military and diplomatic efforts. Their campaigns impacted major powers like the Pratiharas, Palas, and Eastern Chalukyas. Artistic achievements such as Ellora and Elephanta became enduring symbols of Indian heritage. Rashtrakuta rulers balanced religious patronage across Shaivism, Vaishnavism, and Jainism, fostering cultural inclusivity. Their contributions to art, religion, and architecture significantly influenced Indian history and culture. Hope you have liked the video. Thank you so much for your love and support. And I think this video will be useful to you if you are a history enthusiast, a student of history, or someone passionate about India's rich heritage. So support me so that I can bring brighter contents in future.